Hi everyone, this is Vineet Pandey. A very good evening to all of you. I'm looking a bit dilapidated because I was searching my maid servant. It's been 2 days she's not here, and it made me cook. I had to clean my house, and you know how boys clean houses, so kind of uh, troubled. So in this video, I have done a setting. There will be no comments, so I suggest you not to type anything. I won't be able to see any comment. I wanted to teach actually. In my last private live class, also I told you this thing that I want to teach, but what happens when there are so many comments? I start reading those comments one by one, and then I get diverted. In fact, one or two students they also told me that sir, don't read comments and just teach. But that's not naturally possible when somebody is writing in something in front of you, asking your help, asking your attention. You are supposed to read that comment. So now, as I can't see any comment, I'll be focusing on the content. And today I'm going to talk about 16th and 17th century. We have talked about Elizabethans, we have talked about Francis Bacon, why the essays were required, what was the reason that all of a sudden the Elizabethan writers got bored of same kind of poetry, same kind of lyrical quality, same kind of idealism in literature, and they started moving towards something different known as prose writing. Why and how Ben Jonson became a writer. He was dealing with prose, a comic prose. The man started writing comedy in prose. Shakespeare was writing in poetic style. Along with this thing, Francis Bacon, he also promoted the prose style and became the first essayist in England. He followed Montaigne and imitated Montaigne's famous work Essays of 1581 and became a good writer. You all know about Francis Bacon, his famous works, Advancement of Learning, Novum Organum, Instauratio Magna, New Atlantis. These are the famous works written by him. Along with these things, Francis Bacon was an essayist. And being an essayist, he was the man with wits. He was the man who always had a practical approach towards life. If I slap someone or somebody slaps me, so Mahatma Gandhi kind of people, the good, very good kind of spiritual people, they will say that you should not fight back. Let them slap you. You perform and do good by your works, but don't fight. While Francis Bacon was a man who would say, don't slap him right now. Wait for the darkness, hit him from the backside, and let him wonder who hit him. So technically, Francis Bacon was a very clever man, and that is the reason it is said that he was the most, the brightest. I use this comment. This is a really good comment. He was the wisest, brightest, and meanest of mankind. Meanest, mean. So, wisest, very intelligent, brightest, he had a great future, and meanest of mankind, which means that, and this statement is said by Alexander Pope. For Francis Bacon, this is spoken by Alexander Pope. Remember this point. He was this kind of man. Even to get, to marry an old lady just for the sake of money, he had a competition with his friend to marry that old lady. When his friend defeated him and married that old lady, seduced her and married her, he took revenge by producing false evidences against his own friend and got him hanged. Francis Bacon was also accused of taking bribes. He was fined heavily, £40,000, and was locked in the tower. Along with these things, along like we talk about Francis Bacon, we have basic things we have told you. See, the prose content was going on. Then all of a sudden, a new poetic group came. A new poetic group. This is a brief introduction of 16th to 17th century time. So, like Elizabethans, they started writing prose, essays, a small poetic group. All of a sudden, it emerged, and we know you must be knowing what I'm going to talk about. It's metaphysical poets. John Donne, this is the greatest writer, born 1572, died 1631. He started writing a very different kind of poetry, and Donne and his followers. There were many followers. The greatest writer, the one who has written to his coy mistress, Andrew Marvell. This is amazing. Then Abraham Cowley, Richard Crashaw. There are so many great writers with them. Then George Herbert. They're all metaphysical writers. A new kind of poetry came to Elizabethan England. This poetry was not talking about idealism. This poetry was talking about ideal love. But the way they were dealing with love, the way they were talking about love was not conventional. It was totally different. They would take greatest references, and they were very unique references. Now, I ask you a very simple question. What are the most cliche examples taken to praise a beauty or a woman? लाइक जब हम प्रेमिका की खूबसूरती की तारीफ करते हैं, अगर मैं हिंदी कवि की तरह पढ़ाऊँ, इफ आई टीच यू लाइक द हिंदी टीचर्स, तो जो नायक है नायिका के सौंदर्य का वर्णन करते समय उदाहरण किसका लेता है? What I mean to say is, when the lover is praising the beloved, for all those students who don't know Hindi, I'm repeating it. When the lover praises the beauty of beloved, what are the cliche examples? What is cliche? CLICHE? Cliche examples are repeatedly used examples which actually lose their significance. सबसे ज्यादा क्या कंपेयर करते हो आप? रोज की बात करते हो, रोज, रोज पीटल्स, ब्यूटी, symbolizing love, red rose, right? Oh my red, red rose, a famous line by William Blake. Then moon, rose and moon, but thousands of have people, they have taken the reference of this thing. Now what if you have to say the same thing, same emotion, but you don't want to use the word rose, you don't want to use the word moon? This lecture actually becomes very funny in my class because I take a lot of funny examples. So how will you praise your beloved? I remember one student in my you know in my class, he was a Punjabi. He said, sir, if I have to praise my girl in Punjabi, I will say that मतलब उसने बोला कि तू मुझे मक्खन पराठे के जैसे लगती है एंड आई फील लाइक ईटिंग यू, लविंग यू, मतलब सो अगर ये कि आपको बोल दे कि अरे तुम तो मेरा फेवरेट डिश हो, या यू आर माई, यार तो एग्जाम्पल देने बड़े मुश्किल है, लिटरेचर वाला हूँ लेकिन क्या कोई एग्जाम्पल नहीं आ रहे, मतलब आप कुछ ऐसा एग्जाम्पल है जो जो नॉर्मली कन्वेंशनल नहीं है. दिस विल बिकम मेटाफिजिकल स्टाइल. एग्जाम्पल याद क्यों नहीं आ रहा है कोई भी अच्छा सा? जितने लोग प्यार मोहब्बत में होंगे उनको पता होगा एग्जाम्पल्स. मतलब डोंट टेक कन्वेंशनल एग्जाम्पल्स, डोंट टेक कन्वेंशनल एग्जाम्पल्स. Convey the same emotion. Emotion should be same, but the example should be different. So you can say like, you are the battery of my life. Like I'm a mobile, you are my battery, you are my heart. This kind of thing. So this becomes unconventional conceit, far-fetched imagery, unconventional. So metaphysicals were the people, they started playing with imageries. They started fetching, references from different areas. Moreover, all these metaphysicals, they were the scholars, they were well-educated people. It is said that metaphysicals were the man of learning, and to show their learning was their whole endeavor. So they actually wanted to express their love, their emotions, but examples were very modern. Remember this thing, what happens, can you imagine this thing? That in sun rising, John Donne is with his beloved in the bed, and it's the morning time, and the sun rays, they are peeping through windows, disturbing the lovers. So what happens when the morning time comes? जब सुबह होती तो क्या होता है? We get sun rays in the room, the windows. So they cross the windows, they come through windows, and they lighten up everything. Now you are a lover and you don't want to wake up, you don't want to leave your beloved, you don't want to leave the bed, you don't want to go to the offices. What kind of feeling you will have? That why it's so early, why it's morning, I want to be with my love, I don't want to leave her. Imagine John Donne talks to the sun. We are talking about 17th century, 16th century poetry. John Donne is talking to sun. Sun is God, Apollo, the god of war, the god of light, energy. And he says, busy old fool, unruly sun, saucy, pedantic, rest, why do you do so, peeping through the windows? These are the lines. मुझे lines याद है. तो वो क्या बोलता है? What does he say? He says, busy old fool, unruly sun. You old fool, you busy man, you're taking round of the world, because he didn't know that the world, the earth revolves around the sun. At that time it was not discovered. So people believe that the sun takes round of earth. Even we see it's like sun rotates. He says, busy old fool, unruly son, you don't have manners, you're unruly. You have no etiquettes. Saucy, pedantic, rest. ये उसको abuses है. These are abuses. That you are बुरे हाल में हो तुम, जद्दी हो, obstinate हो. Saucy, pedantic, rest. Why do you do so? Why do you peep through windows? ऐसा क्यों करते हो? Now what does he say? That this is the chamber of lovers, room of lovers. How can you enter without knocking, without giving us a warning? uh, how can you just enter in the room of lovers or anybody's room? That's not courtesy. Whenever you enter in somebody's room, you must knock. So why do you do so? You have no manners? And then what does he say? Jordan says that I know you have a duty to wake everyone up. सुबह सुबह आपका जिम्मेदारी है सबको उठाना. But go to the school boys, go to the kingsmen, go to the farmers. School boys have to go to school. Kingsman means king's driver and all, they have to go for the court. Farmers, they have to go to the farm field. But we are lovers. We don't have to go anywhere. Why are you waking up us? Love is our duty. Love is our life. So imagine this feeling. What does he say? Like, हमें क्यों उठा रहे हो? Why are you waking up us? Right? Go for others. Go for farmers, kings, businessmen, drivers, people, those who have to go. We don't have to go anywhere. We are lovers. And then he feels bad for son, pity for son. He says that you're taking round of the world. You must be tired. I can help you. This is metaphysical reference. He says, okay, if you want to take the round of the world, I can help you. Instead of taking the round of the big world, take the round of this bed. Revolve around this bed. सोचो सन को क्या बोल रहा है? He's saying that son, you should rotate, revolve around our bed. This bed is thy center. She is all states and all princes I. One of my favorite line. One of my favorite line. This bed is thy center. This should be your center. Because this is my world. She is all states. For me, she is the kingdoms, all the great kingdoms. मेरी जो beloved है वो मेरी दुनिया है. And she loves me, so I am the prince. तो मैं ही राजा हूँ and मेरी दुनिया है. I am the king, she is my world. This is the true world because the world exists when love is there. असली दुनिया वो होती है जहाँ प्यार है. So the bed has love. This bed is thy center. She is all states and all princes I. सोचो कह रहा है यहीं घूम लो, चक्कर लगा लो. Many of you must be thinking that why and how these lovers are so much dedicated, so much passionate towards each other. एक दूसरे से इतना प्यार कैसे कर सकते हैं? जानते हो उस वक्त यूजीसी नेट का एग्जाम नहीं था. अगर एग्जाम होता तो लवर फॉर्म भर रहा होता, बिलवेड पढ़ रही होती और टाइम नहीं होता किसी के पास. ये वो लोग हैं जब एग्जाम्स नहीं होते थे, जब गवर्नमेंट जॉब की टेंशन नहीं होती थी, सो उनके पास टाइम ही टाइम था. प्यार के नाम, प्रेम प्रेम प्रेम. लेकिन अभी सारे प्रेम प्रेम नहीं होते हैं, कुछ प्रेम प्रेम चोपड़ा बन जाते हैं. तो अब एग्जाम है और अगर आप एग्जाम में पास नहीं होगे तो लड़की के पापा प्रेम चोपड़ा बन सकते हैं आपके लिए, इसलिए पढ़ो. नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस? अनदर एग्जांपल. हाँ, इसमें एक लाइन और बोलता हूँ आपके लिए, एक लाइन आपके लिए मैं और बोलता हूँ. अब वो क्या बोलता है? नाउ व्हाट डज ही से? आई एम टेलिंग यू वन मोर लाइन. He says you may be proud of your bright rays, that you have light, you have power, energy. Sun's brightness is really, it's thousands of times brighter. We can't see. So if you are proud of your brightness and you feel egoistic that you're bright, then remember my beloved's face, my lover's face, my beloved's face is brighter than yours. तुमसे ज्यादा लाइट मेरे बिलवेड जो मेरी प्रेमिका है उनके चेहरे पे है. और आपको अच्छे से पता है क्यों. फेयर एंड लवली 5 दिनों में गोरा बनाए. फेयर एंड लवली आ गया था उस टाइम. Is it disgusting in India that women in India get success by Fair and Lovely, boys by eating Bonvita and Complan, and men by drinking McDowell's soda or live life Lars something. This is disgusting in India. ब्राइटनेस फेयरनेस इशू है हमारे यहाँ पे. बॉर्नविटा के बिना बच्चा आपके सक्सेसफुल नहीं होता है और शराब पिए बिना आपकी मेक इट लार्ज 4 बड़े हीरो आके बोलते हैं. ये सब बहुत शर्मनाक बात है. एंड आई मस्ट टेल यू एज अ टीचर, एक बात बोलूंगा एज अ टीचर, एक बात बोलूंगा आप सबको. आई विल टेल यू दिस थिंग, दैट रिमेंबर दिस थिंग, नो मैटर हाउ बिग इज योर ड्रीम, से नो टू फेयरनेस, फेस वॉश एंड क्रीम. दोस्तों इस चक्कर में मत पड़ना कभी, ये सिर्फ प्राइवेट कंपनी आपको भुला के रखती है, बेवकूफ मत बनना. सो रिमेंबर दिस थिंग, no matter how big is your dream, say no to fairness, face wash, and anyway, as I told you, this is my favorite topic, so I love talking about this thing. The next one we have Andrew Marvel, another reference to his coy mistress. Now what happens here? We have a lover and a beloved. एक लड़का है, एक लड़की है, and they are in love, but the girl doesn't want to be intimate. She doesn't want to be physical. Now Andrew Marvel's concept was that if you are in true love, body becomes medium. देखो एक चीज तो श्योर है, that if you are in true love, the lovers level, the platonic love, the love of soul level, then body is nothing. It's Kamala Das, a lady, a woman, throughout of her life she kept on waiting for true love. She went for various affairs, and she has written a beautiful line. There is a line she like I you know she says that I met a lot of men in search of love and exchanged my body. A small exchange. She said that I was willing for love, men were willing for body. For me, it was a small exchange. So this was a little like that she was in many affairs, but it feels like she couldn't get true love. She couldn't get that satisfaction in love, gratified in love. But Andrew Marvel is equally saying the same thing, that if you're in true love, if you're deeply involved in love, the body becomes a medium. It communicates your energy. It doubles your energy. It helps you to be connected. And this is the reason he's asking his beloved to be intimate, to be physical with him, to allow him to be intimate and physical with her. But the girl is shy. We all know this, our virginity concept, no premarital sex, बिफोर मैरिज नहीं करना है, या ये या वो ऐसा वैसा. ये सोसाइटी के रूल्स हैं और होने चाहिए. आई सजेस्ट दिस थिंग, ये रेस्पेक्ट होनी चाहिए. क्योंकि वाई दीज रूल्स हैव बीन मेड, वाई पीपल हैव मेड दीज रूल्स, बिकॉज दे हैव सीन द ड्रास्टिक रिजल्ट्स ऑफ वायोलेशन ऑफ दीज रूल्स. अगर ये रूल्स नहीं बनाए जाएंगे तो हमारे लिए प्रॉब्लम है. एक शेक्सपियर की लाइन है, आई मस्ट टेल यू दिस थिंग, only the illegitimate are born out of love, the legitimates are born out of duty. मतलब जो इलिजिटिमेट बच्चे हैं, जो विदाउट मैरिज जो पैदा होते हैं, वो ही सच्चे प्यार की निशानी होते हैं. बाकी सब सिर्फ ड्यूटी के साथ आते हैं. लेकिन उसमें भी उसका अपना ओपिनियन था उस समय का. और आज का ये कि यू हैव टू सी सोसाइटी आपको डिस्कार्ड कर देगी. सोसाइटी मॉल फ्लेंडर्स वाली कहानी बना के रख देगी, वैनिटी फेयर की रेबेका शार्प की कहानी बना देगी. So we should respect society, we should respect social norms. But the people, those who are in love and have, they have reached to a level where they do not understand anything else, just love. So this lover says that why are you away? Why aren't you getting intimate with me? Because it's not that he is lusty. No, he has crossed that level of love, that he knows that he controls the body. He knows that she belongs to me. Her body is mine. Her mind body is hers, and she must be in my embrace. वो मेरे पास होनी चाहिए. So it's his love. Remember, this is a study that whether the hero of Andrew Marvel was a lusty man lusting after sex. No, he was not. He was deeply, madly in love, crossing all the levels and feeling that the woman's body is the part of his own body and should not be detached. Now what does he do? Instead of saying or asking the women to be intimate directly, he is using his knowledge. He says that we all will die. Time is passing by. समय खत्म हो रहा है. Remember, कौन बनेगा करोड़पति? अमिताभ बच्चन. ओह, समय समाप्ति की घोषणा. Time is flying by. समय खत्म हो रहा है. So what does he say? He simply says that, क्या बोलते हैं, एक लाइन है, मुझे लाइन ओपनिंग याद नहीं आ रही है. Had we but the world enough, O lady, this coyness were no crime. Had we but the world enough, O lady, this coyness were no crime. Thou by the side of fair Ganges should rubies find, and I by the tide of Humber should wait till my vegetable love grow. बहुत अच्छी lines हैं. And he says that we do not have a lot of time. He says, had we but the world enough, like if we had plenty of time, I would have taken 10,000 years to praise your beauty, to praise your beauty, to praise your, to praise you. What does he mean to say? That if I had time, I would have taken 200 years to praise your eyes, 200 years to praise your lips, 200 years to praise your nature, character, everything. But we do not have time. He says that I would have allowed my vegetable love grow. Remember, the vegetable love means he's talking about the hormones, the vegetative state. So he says that my I am having hormones for you, emotions for you. Vegetative state means the we can simply relate it to the hormones of the body only. So he says that I would have allowed all my emotions, all my hormones to get developed, would have waited for you. And he says that I would have waited till the conversion of Jews, till all the Jews got converted to Christianity. I would have waited till then. He says मैं तब तक wait करता जब तक सारे Jews Christian नहीं बन जाते, इतना wait करता. But we do not have time. He says, but at my back I always hear time's winged chariot hurrying near. He says there is a flying rath, chariot, rath. ठीक है? So chariot is cart, and the cart has wings. It's flying by. So which cart? Time's cart. And why at my back? Because I'm conscious. I'm always conscious time is passing by. Time is passing by. Right? He says that. And then he also says one thing. That if you died, there will be no love. No more my song will be echoed in the marble vault. Na to tumhari kabr mein mera song aayega. You won't hear my love, you won't hear my song. And the long preserved virginity shall be tried by worms. और जिस virginity को या जिस body को आप untouched रख रहे हो, बचा रहे हो, उसे कीड़े खा जाएंगे. So this is how he's using all his wits, all his emotions to convince the women, being very tactful. He's giving all the tact. He says that we're gonna die. अभी एक चीज सोचो. I teach existentials in my class, and I very much live this life of existentials. मैंने जिंदगी बड़ी आसान हो गई जब से मैंने existential life जीना शुरू किया है. The moment I started living my life in existential way, doing what I want to do, and I don't care what people say about me. I don't care what people like or don't like about me. So life has become really easy for me. There are no more opinions that matter. I never talk to my family in this way that please do this, otherwise what will our neighbors say, what will our people say. No, I'm like, do what you want to do, we will see. So this has become easy. He's saying the same thing, because all the norms of society will change one day. Now imagine 2021, we are going to enter in 2021. Rules, regulations have changed a lot. In Delhi, Bangalore, or the top metro cities, we are seeing that a lot of people are getting married in different castes with no issues at all. Love marriages have been promoted. The marriage profiles websites, they are promoting people to talk to each other. Now imagine those who were married in a wrong relationship because the boy was not allowed to see the girl was not allowed to see the boy. They were just married and suffered for their entire life. They died. They are watching us, and they must be, there must be like that. If you had to change, you could have changed in our times. At least we would have survived. अगर बदलना ही था तो हम बच जाते. All the people, those who died in the name of honor killing. So technically, he says that even the norms are subject of time. So if you are respecting society, see, in 19th century Victorian, if you read Tess of the Urbervilles written by Thomas Hardy, Tess of the Urbervilles is severely criticized for losing her virginity, even which was not his fault. She was raped, forceful attempt. But she is criticized, she is hated, she is, humiliated, ignored. Why? Because she has lost her virginity. So the concept of being a woman with dignity, with virginity was really big in 19th century. Now when we study the same thing in 21st century, it's nothing, it's simple, it's just a part of life. So imagine those people who died for the sake of these things. So in this thing, there are these writers, the metaphysical ones, they are highly educated, they are using their knowledge, they are using their wits, and moreover, they are giving the best examples. They are saying that the norms themselves are the subject of time. तो कभी न कभी तो बदल जाएगा. Then there are many other writers. George Herbert, a religious writer, he wrote Temple. Then there are 150 poetries, the Easter Wings. He talks to God in a very conversational style. He talks to God as the God is his friend. He also approached a new style. So metaphysicals were technically doing the unique things. John Donne is my all-time favorite, and you know Andrew Marvell is really, really good. There are modern replies to Andrew Marvell. There are people they have replied. So Richard Noggin, N-O-double-G-I-N, N-O-double-G-I-N, Richard Noggin replied this thing, this famous book, where the girl says that this is your sophomoric love. You should grow up. She says that there is, if the time is less, you can pray to the God. Why to go for this physical relation? But again, that's just a reply. That's not the right answer. The man, the girl, the person, anyone who is in deep love, आपके दोस्त होंगे, आप भी हो सकते हो. They do not understand any logic. मैंने कहीं पढ़ा था. I should not speak like this in my class. आपको लगेगा क्या है, लेकिन but I don't care again. Say this thing. I'm the student's teacher. तो मैंने किसी का मीम पढ़ा था. उसमें लिखा था कि प्यार में पड़े हुए दोस्त को कभी मत समझाओ, क्योंकि तुम्हारे 2 घंटे का स्पीच उसके एक्स की एक मिस कॉल उस पर हक के जाएगा. So all those who don't know Hindi, I can translate this thing in English, that do not give counseling to the friend who is in love, because the 2 hours counseling will be totally destroyed by one missed call of the ex. And recently I am seeing one of my friend. So every day I motivate him, man, focus on your career. Every day I motivate, यार life पे काम कर, क्या कर रहा है यार, do better. And he'll be like, yes, 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 I'll do it. You have motivated me. Next day, he becomes a lion, goes back. Next day, he comes with a puppy face. Oh, she was crying, I was not talking, this and that. This happens. Anyway, that's a part of life. It's natural, and I'll be like, I'll recommend this thing, that it's better to be in love than never to be in love. Like this has been spoken by Tennyson also. Alfred Lord Tennyson said that it's better to be in love and lost. It's better to be have loved and lost than to be never loved at all. तो प्रेम अपने आप में आपको बेटर बनाता है, अच्छा बनाता है. और ये प्रेम का मतलब जरूरी है कि आप लड़कियों से या लड़कों से ही करो. माता पिता से कर सकते हो, जानवरों से कर सकते हो, नेचर से कर सकते हो. यू कैन फॉल इन लाइफ, लव इन विद लाइफ ऑल्सो. तो ये मेटाफिजिक्स हैं. अब यहाँ से क्या होता है कि इसके साथ एक नया ग्रुप आएगा, द प्यूरिटन्स, द प्योरेस्ट पीपल, रिलीजियस पीपल. दे बिलीव दैट द किंग इज वेस्टिंग टाइम. किंग टाइम पास कर रहा है. किंग जो है वो रानियां, ही इज मेंटेनिंग मिस्ट्रेसेस. So they started creating riots, they started creating social awareness, they started protesting against the king, and this resulted in civil war. So in next lecture we'll talk about what was the role of Puritans, what is the role of John Calvin, why they are called son of Calvin, who are Cavaliers. This will be given as an introduction to you. Now remember this thing, I did not accept any comment today so that I can just focus on my topic. It will help you to understand. So, thank you so much, and I'm going to cook. My cook is not here. Bye bye.